We've been looking at why Christians believe they are on a mission. Last week we learnt that the Christian concept of mission is a job or work to do, being set to do something, a sense of direction, a purpose, knowing what you have to do, and a God-given task. Today we're going to think about exactly what a Christian thinks their mission is. To help us understand this, we're going to look at two everyday things: salt and light. How do we use salt and light in our lives? What do they do? Do they make a difference to our lives? Have a think about that for a moment. First of all, let's look at salt. It's a common ingredient in most kitchens. If you have chips or you have crisps, they'll usually have salt on them. They taste very different if they didn't. Salt is often used to flavour food. Salt can also be used to preserve food and stop it from going bad. Another way that salt is used is to help with healing. Sometimes if people have got a sore throat, they might put a little bit of salt in some water and gargle it. It doesn't taste very nice, but it does help heal the sore throat. So how does salt make a difference? It brings out flavour in food, it preserves food, and it helps with healing. Next, let's look at light. Without light, you can see nothing. With a little light, you can begin to see shadows, and sometimes you can see shapes and outlines of things. Only when the light is full and bright can you see everything, and then you can also see things in colour. What would it be like to have no light at all? So how does light make a difference in our lives? It helps us to see things clearly, stops us bumping into things, and it shows us the way. So salt and light both make a difference in our lives. But what has that got to do with a Christian mission? In the Bible, in Matthew 5, verses 13 to 16, it says this: "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." You are the salt of the earth, and you are the light of the world. So a Christian's mission is to be salt and light in the world. But what does that mean? Like salt, Christians believe they should make a difference, that they should preserve and encourage what's good in the world and stop things going bad or rotten. How do they do this? By encouraging the truth and fighting for what is right. And like light, Christians believe they should shine so people can see God in them and so that people can find their way in life. And how do Christians do this? Through the way that they live and the way that they treat people and the things that they do. So we've looked at how a Christian believes their mission is to be like salt and light in the world. Your first task is to create a table like this one in your book. Fill in how salt and light make a difference in everyday lives. You can go back and have a look if you want to. Then write the part of the Bible verse which applies, and see if you can think of 2 or 3 ways a Christian might live like salt or like light, and write examples. Then choose either salt or light and create a poster to show what difference it would make if we didn't have it in our lives. You could divide the page in half and show one side with light and one side without, for example.